Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood master chaos here. I hope you're well. I love seeing you. Welcome to the rundown. Today we're talking Criterion Collection November 2022. We get a 4K upgrade, an amazing trilogy. The year is technically over. We still have December to hear from them, and still no box set for 2022. I'm very disappointed. But we are sort of getting a box set for the month of November, kind of. If you can stretch your imagination, you can see it. But it remains to be seen. What is it? Let's talk about it right now.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hello, motherfucker.
This is what I'm seeing when I click on the main page of Criterion. Now, I'm not going to show any trailers, because I ran into some issues. I'm not monetized on this channel. Those of you who've been watching for a while know that. So, and I ran into some issues recently where the video was entirely blocked because of showing footage. So I'm not going to show specific footage for these movies, but we'll discuss them in detail together. If you're watching live, feel free to chime in the chat, and I will have this conversation with you. If not, you're watching a replay. Thank you so much. You're having a wonderful day. And I will respond to all comments. Let's see. Let's start here. We've got 5 titles for November. 5, right? Yeah. Malcolm X. I believe that'll be a 4K. We'll look at that in a minute. The Infernal Affairs Trilogy. That's what they're calling collector's set. Power of the Dog, which got so much praise, but I absolutely hated that movie. I thought it was so boring. In the Mood for Love 4K upgrade, which is killing me right now, because if anything needs a 4K, I mean that movie would melt my eyeballs in 4K. But I already got the fucking box set, so why would I want? Anyway, Daisies. I'm not familiar with this movie at all. It's the only movie on here I don't know. So let's start there. We'll go in order. This releases first, November 1st. By the way, November, I'm sure you all know, is Black Friday month, and Barnes & Nobles will have its sale. It's 50% off sale. So anything you like here that will release this month, you can get it 50% off. Not too flabby. Hey, Razor, what's up, man? Yeah, too much good news. Too much good news popping up. There's everything announced today. Jason, how you doing, buddy? Jim, good to have you here. Jim, you were not a fan of Power of the Dog either. Good. Sam Elliott's favorite movie. Oh my god. If you go back and find Sam Elliott's thoughts on Power of the Dog. One of the dumbest westerns ever made. No, it's not even a western. It's nothing. Anyway. Daisies. What is Daisies? And should we want it? I don't know. If the entire world is bad, why shouldn't we be bad? By the way, I don't know if you can see in this picture, but if I go full screen, you'll see it. It's summer. It's hot. So here, let me go full screen. I got my fan going because it's really hot in here, and if I'm going to survive this, I've got to do it this way. Hope you don't mind. Pretend it's ASMR. If the entire world is bad, why shouldn't we be bad? Adopting this insolent attitude as their guiding philosophy, a pair of hedonistic young women, names I won't pronounce, both named Marie, embark on a gleefully debauched odyssey of gluttony, giddy destruction, and anti-patriarchal resistance, in which nothing is safe from their nihilistic pursuit of pleasure. But what happens when the fun is over? Matching her anarchic message with an equally radical aesthetic, director we'll just call her Vera, with the close collaboration of cinematographer, we'll just call him JK, unleashes an optical storm of fluctuating film stocks, kaleidoscopic montages, cartoonish stop-motion cutouts, and surreal costumes designed by Esther, who also co-wrote the script. The result is Daisies, the most defiant provocation of the Czechoslovakian New Wave. An exuberant call to rebellion aimed squarely at those who uphold authoritarian oppression in any form. My favorite kind. $31. It's just in blue, no DVD, no 4K. However, heads up, 4K restoration has been done. So, for those of you playing along at home and paying attention, this could potentially get a 4K down the road. Will it? I don't know. Why didn't it already come out in 4K? There's a lot of questions. 76 minutes, really short. So that's definitely an easy watch. Here you get audio commentary with Daniel Bird and Peter Hames. New interview with film programmer Irina Kovarova. A documentary about the director. You get a documentary about the artistic collaboration among that Chitilova with the cinematographer and screenwriter of the film. We get 2 short films by I guess that's the director. Yeah, yeah, that's her last name. You get A Bag Full of Fleas, my favorite kind of bag, and Ceiling, and then trailer, and then new English translation plus essay by Carmen Gray. Is this also available? Is this an upgrade? Oh, it is. This is an upgrade from the Eclipse box set on DVD. So, you know, that's interesting. So it existed before, and you can still buy it for a little over the same price. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more movies to give it a try. If you want to check out the Czech New Wave, that actually might be a better buy. Daisies. I'm gonna check this out. This is definitely something I'll be watching, but on the Criterion channel, which is something I do recommend you guys check out. Is anybody buying Daisies? I'm curious. Ima says Daisies was a banned movie. Oh, interesting. Oh, Rachel says, sound good and you can't hear the fan. Awesome, awesome. Inaweb Kaiju, what's up, my brother? Good to have you here. Doug D, hello. 1968 was considered the Prague Spring. Lots of creativity just before the Soviets moved tanks in. Interesting. Unbearable Lightness of Being is about the same time period. Oh, I like that movie. Guys. Spencer's excited for Power of the Dog. He loved it. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad you enjoyed that film. Okay, there's Daisies coming out November 1st. November 1st also... God, this kills me. Shit. This kills me. In the Mood for Love is one of the most beautiful, colorful movies ever made. You know, I mean, look at that. That picture is indicative of its warmer tones, but very... Wong Kar-wai loves green, so the movie's very green. You know, there's that... If I remember correctly, there's a lot of like neon and rain and... Oh, gosh, it kills my soul. I'm not a big 4K upgrade guy, for those of you following along at home. Jim is going to pass on Daisies. I get it. No worries, Jim. I'm with you. I will want to watch it, but I don't think I need to own it. This is an amazing movie. It's a beautiful love story. Gorgeously made. I mean, there's so many movies that are just gorgeously made. Pieced together by sheer magic. And In the Mood for Love is literal cinema magic. God damn it. But I already own it twice. I've got a DVD of it, and I got the Blu-ray box set, the Wong Kar-wai box set. It just doesn't make any sense for me to get it on 4K. I would like to watch it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my eyes open, my ears out, whatever. I'm gonna keep on the lookout for any 4K showings in my area, because Los Angeles, we get a lot of this repertoire stuff. So if this ever gets screened on the theaters, I'd love to see this in 4K. I really would. If you haven't now, it's hard for me to recommend just getting the 4K because the rest of his movies are really good too. This is definitely for the double dippers. This is definitely for the double dippers. If you're curious at all, get the box set because he has so many beautiful movies that it's hard for me to just get this one. It's really hard for me to just say get this one. Jaden says he's only getting Malcolm X. All right. And Jane says, even then, I don't need that anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem with a lot of these. We don't need these. We don't need any of this. But sort of like you go to a buffet and like, oh, here's some, well, it depends if you're hungry. So go to a buffet when you're not hungry. Say, well, I guess I could eat sesame balls. I mean, I guess I could have some fried chicken. That how much is the fried chicken? $40? It's fried chicken though. It's kind of one of those things. It doesn't make any sense. I know what I'm talking about. Let's give you the rundown here. Hong Kong, 1962. Chao Mo Wan and Su Li Zhen move into neighboring apartments on the same day. Their encounters are formal and polite until a discovery about their spouses creates an intimate bond between them. Basically, their spouses are cheating with each other, and then they bond over that their spouses are having affairs with each other's spouses. It's not a spoiler. At once delicately mannered and visually extravagant, In the Mood for Love is a masterful evocation of romantic longing and fleeting moments, with its aching soundtrack and exquisitely abstract cinematography by Christopher Doyle and Mark Lee Ping Bing. This film has been a major stylistic influence on the past 2 decades of cinema and is a milestone in Wong's redoubtable career. Absolutely beautiful movie. If anything needed a 4K upgrade, it's this. Okay, get one 4K and one blue. I'm guessing it's the same features. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. Documentary from 2001 by Wong, chronicling the making. You get a short film by Wong. You get an interview and cinema lesson from featuring Wong. That's cool. Press conference from the 2000 Toronto International Film Festival with Maggie Cheung, who is beautiful. And Tony Leung, interview with 2012 from 2012 with Tony Raines, who is amazing. You talk about the soundtrack. I gotta get Tony on the show. I gotta reach out to him. I love him. My favorite commentator. Deleted scenes with Wong. You get a music video, trailer, plus new essay. New essay? New essay. Let me check the Blu-ray. No, it's a different essay. Ooh, interesting. Oh wow, and it's different special features, interviews. Oh, about the soundtrack. What about the film and what about the soundtrack? Oh wow, so the 4K doesn't even have all the features. Then what's the DVD have? DVD has deleted scenes with optional commentary, an interactive essay, and a different. Wow. So I mean, if you were to get them all, you would get different special features? Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I guess that's good for the collector's sake. I guess that's good. I don't know. Let's see. The 4K will not have HDR. It will be the new master they are using for the upgrade. I believe there will also be a few special features missing as well. Yep, just double check that. Will not have HDR. Interesting. For the previous Blu-ray release is correct. Let's see. The Rock and Ernie Reyes Jr. rundown. Is that a movie? Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, at least the font was from that movie. Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr.'s in that. Let's see. What do I think about the new color timing? It doesn't bother me. Honestly, I didn't notice it until people started complaining about it. It didn't really bother me because that's what he wanted. You know, he's the director. If he wants it to look green, then make it green. It's his movie. You know, we don't have ownership over these things. So whatever he wanted was fine by me. Power of the Dog, November 9th. This is this South Park episode. I forget what it was, but they were making fun of Oscar movies and a movie called Gay Cowboys Eating Pudding. This is technically a gay cowboy movie, but it's not at the same time. Now, Master Chaos TV is a love and love. Everyone is equal, home based. I love everyone here equally. I think people are people, and that's a magical, wonderful thing. But I think this movie doesn't even really give that audience what they wanted, because it never really gets there. It's all very, very, very under the surface, to the point that you're like, what the hell is this fucking movie about? It's very obscure. I can't even think of the word, but I didn't like it. But if you're interested, obviously TBYB, it's on Netflix. It was nominated for all the Oscars, won none of them, I think. Did it win it? I don't know that it won anything. Campion won for directing. Okay, I'm just reading it here. Let me read you the whole thing. Why don't we do that? Jane Campion returns to the kind of mythic frontier landscape, pulsating with both freedom and menace that she previously traversed in The Piano, which is another weird movie. In order to plumb but a better movie. In order to plumb the masculine psyche in The Power of the Dog, set against the desolate plains of the 1920s Montana. No one better to plumb the masculine psyche than a woman. Because imagine if like a guy was gonna plumb the feminine psyche, what the uproar would be. Anyway, different conversation. Set against the desolate plains of the 1920s Montana, and adapted by the filmmaker from Thomas Savage's novel. After a sensitive widow who is, as Kristen Dunst, it was like, I don't know, she was like asleep in this movie, and her enigmatic, fiercely loving son move in with her gentle new husband, Jesse Plemons, who's always good. Even he was pretty mediocre. He's always pretty good. A tense battle of wills plays out between them and his brutish brother, whose frightening volatility conceals a secret torment, and whose capacity for tenderness, once reawakened, may offer him redemption or destruction. And that sounds way too exciting for this movie. Campion, who won an Academy Award for her direction here, charts the repressed desire and psychic violence. Come on, man. Come on. That's way too exciting. There's no psychic violence, guys. Coursing among these characters with their mesmerizing control of a master at the height of her power. Whoa. I nailed it. Wow. The Power of the Dog is really dull. It's super boring. And I in my opinion, none of that fits what that movie's about. It wasn't gay enough, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm okay. Like, I liked Brokeback Mountain. That's a wonderful story, beautiful love story. This wasn't that, but it wasn't anything either. Like, it wasn't even a good Western. The characters didn't make any sense. I don't know. I had a lot of problems with this movie. But you can get it on 4K, Blu-ray by itself, or DVD. Wow, they're doing a DVD for it. What do you have? Pretty much everything. Yeah. All right, let's look at special features. Interview with Campion about the film. Program featuring interviews with members of the cast and crew. Shot on location. Interview with Campion and composer Johnny Greenwood. A conversation about Campion and director of photography Ari Wegner. Among, I should say, Kristen Dunst, producer Tanya Seghatchian, moderated by Tamara Jenkins, and a new interview with novelist Annie Proulx. Why? She had nothing to do with this. Weird. She's just a fan? Weird. That's like an interview with Stephen King on Malcolm X. It's interesting. Trailer, English subtitles, and an essay with Amy Taubin. Okay. There's my thoughts on this one. Yeah. This is the only thing I'm really excited about this month, well, I guess November, that I'm absolutely going to pick up. And it's done on 4K. Should I wait for a 4K? No. I don't know. Psychic violence, are scanners in it? You know, anybody reading that would think, holy shit, psychic violence is going to be fucking exciting. No, man. None of that happens. Literally, all he does is, like, take a naked bath, and I think he whips himself. I think that's the only thing he does. He might not even do that. It's just them making a rope. They make a rope, which is obviously symbolic. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I am a big Criterion guy. Criterion is my favorite label. It's the granddaddy. Criterion started it up for me. They were there, and they were amazing. I love Criterion. I still love Criterion. Most of my movies, well, most of my boutique movies are Criterion titles. Absolutely love it, and I'll be covering them every month. Stay tuned, Radu. Who that is? I love Radu. How did she win Best Director? I don't know. I think everybody was just kissing that movie's ass, unfortunately. And I don't want to get into politics here, but, you know, female director, LGBT topic. I think it's one of those things. I mean, it's telling that it didn't win. Yeah, I don't. It's a really bad movie. Justin, excited for Malcolm X and Infernal Affairs. Never seen the trilogy. I've seen the first one. I hadn't seen the other ones, but it's really good. For those of you who haven't seen Infernal Affairs, guess what? You probably did. If you've seen Martin Scorsese's The Departed, which is a remake of Infernal Affairs. Yep, Infernal Affairs was so popular that Scorsese said, "You know what? I'm gonna remake this." That's a terrible Scorsese impression. But yeah, that's what it is. It's essentially The Departed, and there's a ton of videos on YouTube of comparing and contrasting. I didn't like Power of the Dog. It really doesn't deserve 4K, as it's not well photographed. If anything, it makes the West look bland. Super bland. Absolutely, man. Super bland. Lots of vistas, but yeah. Barrett's excited for Infernal. I thought November was generally a big release month for them, but not much exciting stuff here. This year's been weird. Criterion was the first label I fell in love with. Love their work. I have almost 90 Criterion Blu-rays. I have no idea how many I have. I have no idea how many I have. But it's been a weird year. Is it just me, or has this been a weird year for boutique labels where everyone's kind of like, maybe it's because prices are going up and we're being more cautious about shit, but I don't know. I'm not. It's been a weird year. Overall. Richard brings up a good question. I honestly have seen The Departed more. I love Scorsese. I'm a Scorsese fanboy. I've only seen Infernal once. I'm gonna lean towards The Departed, but maybe just because I'm American, you know, and that appeals to me more. That's where I would go. But I had to watch these again to be sure. Criterion has some of the best transfers. They are pricey, so I only get movies I already like. Get them on sale. Then nothing is pricey. They're cheaper than any other label if you just wait it out. That's what I'm doing. Academy Award said Infernal was a Japanese film when Departed was nominated. So weak. Yeah, I agree. Hey, LD in the house. What's up, LD? We gotta get together and talk movies soon, man. I hope you can join me. Actually, I have something planned. I'm gonna reach out to you. Stay tuned. I have something planned, baby dancer. Doesn't make any sense. Justin says another good thing is November will be. That's what I just said at the beginning. You must have missed it, but yeah, everything came up at 50% off as well as everything else. But look at the price: 3 movies for $50, and this isn't 4K. You're raising your prices, Criterion, which I guess everybody is. But what the hell? This is just gonna be one M-Ray case. This is not a box set. $50. That's not as appetizing to me. That's not as. I mean, I'm still gonna buy it, but it's not as much of a deal. I paid $50 for the Bruce Lee box set, half off. The box set was $50. Now you're telling me 3 movies in an anime case is $50? I don't like these things. That's the reason piracy exists. Okay. The Hong Kong crime drama was jolted to new life with the release of the Infernal Affairs trilogy, embracing explosively stylish, critical, and commercial triumphs that introduced a dazzling level of narrative and thematic complexity to the genre, with its gripping saga of 2 rival moles, played by superstar Tony Leung Chi-Wai and Andy Lau Tak-Wah, who navigate slippery moral choices as they move between the intersecting territories of Hong Kong's police force and its criminal underworld. Set during the uncertainty of the city-state's handover from Britain to China and steeped in Buddhist philosophy, these ingeniously crafted tales of self-deception and betrayal mirror Hong Kong's own fractured identity and here's another word, psychic schisms of life in a post-colonial purgatory. One thing I will say about Criterion, it's a little up its own ass. Just say, oh, this is good. This is a badass cops and robbers thriller, man. Lots of gunfights. It's a little up its own ass. Psychic schisms, you say? Post-colonial purgatory. My. That sounds enticing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Man, this shit's badass, bro. You know, I don't know. But again, it appeals to a certain audience. I'm sorry. I love Daisuke Beppu, but the way he talks about Criterion is very different from the way I approach cinema. Is that just me? Does that sound a little up its own ass? Barrett agrees that is crazy high. It's weird, right? They keep raising that price. Sorry if I got that wrong. Good to see Criterion has Infernal. I want the French 4K box set as well. That's a good point. Motherfuckers in France got a 4K box set. Let's look that up, actually. Let's look that up. Let's go on a little hunt. What are we gonna do? Let's go here. Blu-ray.com. So check this out. Are these 4K Ultra HD of the Infernal Affairs movies? But now the question remains: if there are 4K scans, is this eventually going to get a 4K? Is this worth buying? No, I don't want ads for whatever this is. Goodbye, ad. I can't even do ads on my channel. Why would I give you an ad? Yeah, I'm going to cancel it. But anyway, yeah, there's a 4K box set. So does this make any sense now? I don't know. Roland, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Criterion does have hyperbole. Criterion is up its own ass. Criterion will end up being 35 plus tax. Really? Is that what it's going for on Barnes and Nobles? Because you have to look at the SRP. You look at the SRP. I'm curious if it's different. It might be different on Barnes and Nobles. No psychic violence? I know, no psychic violence is fun. Let's see. Samurai Trilogy was 35. Yeah, but that's an older release too, so I don't know. You gotta release the Blu-ray first so you can double dip when they release the 4K. Yeah, that's lame. I don't know. So how many people are gonna get this now knowing that there is a 4K in existence? Now I'm completely on the fence. Did I break down the movies individually? I mean, I got a live show. I got another one coming up pretty soon. Let's fucking do it. Infernal Affairs. 2 of Hong Kong's. I just zoom in. See it a little better. Better. Like that. A little better. 2 of Hong Kong's cinema's most iconic leading men, Tony Leung and Andy Lau, who I always mistake for the same guy, face off in the breathtaking thriller that revitalized the city-state's 21st century film industry, launched a blockbuster franchise, and inspired The Departed. The setup is diabolical when it's duplicity. 2 undercover moles. Police officers are assigned to infiltrate the ruthless triad by posing as a gangster, and a gangster who becomes a police officer in order to serve as a spy for the underworld, find themselves locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse, each racing against time to unmask the other. As the shifting loyalties, murky moral compromises, and deadly betrayals mount, Infernal Affairs raises haunting questions about what it means to live a double life, lost in a labyrinth of conflicting identities and allegiances. By the way, see peep cover, another Criterion release. Good movie. Really damn good movie. Infernal 2. The first of 2 sequels to follow in the wake of the massively successful Infernal Affairs softens the original. Oh, that doesn't sound good. The original's furious pulp punch in favor of something more sweeping, elite, and overtly political. Yikes. I don't like the sound of that. Flashing back in time. Oh, wow. Okay. 2 traces the tangled parallel histories that bind the trilogy's 2 pairs of adversaries, the young dueling moles, and a police inspector, whose respective rises reveal a shocking hidden connection, unfolding against the political and psychological upheaval of Hong Kong's handover from Britain to China. This elegant, character-driven crime drama powerfully connects with themes of split loyalties to the city-state's own post-colonial identity crisis. There you go. That one sounds a little less interesting. Infernal 3, Tony Leung and Andy Lau return for the cathartic conclusion to the trilogy, which layers on even more deep cover intrigue while steering the series into increasingly complex psychological territory, dancing back and forth in time to before and after the events of the original film. Infernal 3 follows private gangster turned corrupt cop Lau Ping-ming, Andy Lau, as he goes to dangerous, spoilers, lengths to avoid detection, matches wits with a devious rival in the force, and finds himself haunted by the fate of his former undercover nemesis. A swirl of flashbacks, memories, and hallucinations culminate in a dreamlike merging of identities that drive home the trilogy's vision of a world in which traditional distinctions between good and evil have all but collapsed. Is it just me? Does it sound like 2 and 3 are completely pointless? What the hell? Thanks for pointing that out. That sucks ass. Okie dokie. Well, I guess I'm waiting for the 4K. I'm doing them in about an hour. Stay tuned, Planet Mondo, for the Mondo coverage. Hey, Cody, what's up, man? You are excited. Awesome. Is it just, to me, 2 and 3 sound like they're just retreading old ground. Like they're going back in time to talk about when they were young with them. It's like they didn't have any story there, so they decided to just like stretch it out. That sounds really weird to me. And what's also weird is, okay, I was going to say no special features. Okay, here we go. Audio commentary for Infernal and Infernal 2, featuring the directors and screenwriter, co-directors. Alternate ending for Infernal, interview with Lau and Mak. Archival interview with Lau, Mak, Chung. Those are 3 different people. And actors Andy Lau, Tony Leung, Anthony Wong, a whole bunch of people from the movie. A making of program, behind the scenes footage, deleted scenes, outtakes, and new English. Hey, look at that. It's got something over the program. And then Justin Chang essay. I'm gonna wait for this to be on the Criterion channel. I think I'm gonna TBYB on this. I was really excited for it, but then 2 and 3 sound real lame. Man, I've been around the block. I'm sure most of you have. I can hear what the double speak. There's no plot. There's barely any plot in part 2. And part 3 feels like an actual sequel, but more the same. TBYB on Criterion channel for me. Moving on. Malcolm X 4K. This is new. Oh yeah, right? Yeah, new to the collection. Find 1160. For some reason, I thought they put this one out. Yeah. Let's hear. Robert says, Infernal first was brilliant and the best, and second and third which were good. Excellent genre films. Oh, okay, good. They work. Takeshi Kitano films need to have Criterion release. That's a good point. His movies are very interesting. I kind of would like to see all of them. Did you guys know that Kitano is a comedian? This guy was like the Jerry Lewis of Japan at one point, and then he decided to go, you know what, I'm going to break the mold, and I'm going to make Yakuza movies. And then, like, in the West, we know him as the Yakuza guy. But he's apparently, like, a really funny dude. I watched a comedy he made. I'm blanking on the name of it. It wasn't good. Whatever it was. In my opinion. Okie dokie. Malcolm X. One of the most electrifying heroes of the 20th century receives an appropriately screen biopic, rich in both historical insight and propulsive cinematic style, courtesy of visionary director Spike Lee, built around an extraordinary performance from Denzel. Malcolm X draws an iconic civil rights leader's autobiography to trace his journey of empowerment from a childhood riven? Is that a word? Riven? Sorry, as a writer, I get stuck on things. By white supremacist violence to a life of petty crime, to his conversion to Islam and rebirth as a fearless fighter for Black liberation, whose courage and eloquence inspired oppressed communities the world over. An epic of impeccable craft that was made with Lee's closest creative collaborators and is buoyed by commanding performances from Delroy Lindo, Angela Bassett, Al Freeman Jr., and others. This is a passionate monument to a man whose life continues to serve as a model of principled resistance. You get 4K on sale. You'll get it for about $25. Again, look at the SRP. 4Ks have been $25. So when they're half off. So always look for the SRP. That's what you get 50% off of. 200 minutes. Long movie. Good movie. I don't know that I'm going to be grabbing it, but it's a solid movie. Audio commentary from 2005 featuring the director Spike Lee, Ernest Dickerson, and editor Barry Alexander Brown, and costume designer Ruth Carter. New conversation between Lee and Barry Michael Cooper. New interview with Delroy Lindo and Terrence Blanchard, the composer. Interesting. Together? Interesting. a program about the making of the film, featuring everybody. Malcolm X, a feature-length documentary. That's cool. You get 2 movies for the price of one, narrated by James Earl Jones. Deleted scenes produced by Lee, a trailer. Then you get an essay by Cooper. Somebody named the screenwriter. Excerpts from Lee's 1992 book, By Any Means Necessary, The Making of Malcolm X, and Davis's eulogy, Malcolm X. That's interesting. I mean, I like how they credit the guy who made the cover, but I mean, it's just a still from the movie with words on it. I don't know. I expect something a little more impressive. I don't know. I'm very nitpicky, as you may have come to understand. Coming soon, November 22nd, so right at the end of the year, right before Thanksgiving, bring Malcolm X home for dinner, and enjoy it. The FBI killed X with a psychic blast. You know it. Let's see. Criterion is doing a good job adding spikes to droids. They are indeed. Maybe we'll get Old Boy 4K. I'm kidding. All right, so that's November, guys. I've got a dip. We've got to prep for another live show. If you haven't already, I do suggest something. I had to release it late because YouTube is weird, and so I literally had to drop it late because of the fact that there was issues with the trailer for Deadly Weapons, and so I had to release it late, and I apologize for anybody who was waiting for it, because I had hinted that it was coming, but this is up now, so go check it out. The part 1 of my Doris Wishman, the film's Doris Wishman review, is up now. Go check it out, and drop me a like if you can. Also, something I want to bring to your attention before we call it a day on this rundown. Coming up soon, I think it's going to be, August 26th, 2022, the first episode. The name is pending, but I'm calling it right now. Chick Flicks Double Dare. Mrs. Chaos will join me and Tony the Dead and his lovely wife, Shayna, as we do a reverse live show here, where instead of us making them watch terrible movies, they're going to make us watch chick flicks. First up, Marry Me, selected by Mrs. Chaos, and Lost City, selected by Shayna. Tony and I will watch them, not live, obviously, but we'll come together on the 26th and review these with our wives. I think Lost City's going to be good, but I'm really not looking forward to Marry Me. That looks atrocious. Watch us suffer. August 26th. Boy. Yeah. That's gonna hurt. Both of these look terrible. Yeah. Very not happy about it. But anyway, let me bid you adieu. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the rundown of the Criterion Collection. I'm curious if anyone is grabbing anything. I was gonna grab Infernal Affairs, but now I'm really on the fence. And in the mood for Love 4K, gosh, I'm gonna wait. LD says I was forced to watch Marry Me. Enjoy the suffering. Oh no. Yikes. Yeah. Thanks for the warning. The suffering will be delicious. Sure. It sure will be for you guys. All right, let's call it a day. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, do consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. Go watch my thoughts on the Doris films. This is the first of many. This is probably going to eventually be my biggest box set review when all 3 are put together. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Until we meet again, I love you very much. You're very special to me. I hope that the world finds you better today than it did yesterday.
Yeah, y'all ready?